Hope Channel, changing lives.
Don't assume I'm weak because I have panic attacks. You'll never know the amount of strength it takes to face the world each day. Once again, good evening and welcome to the program Wounds of the Heart, where we are here to help you heal any form of emotional, psychological or mental issues that are befalling you. Or if it's traumatic or you're still going through this hardship, this program is designed to help you learn and overcome certain things in life. So we bring specialized people, those who understand the business. We bring them here to educate and help give healing to the one who has same issue. So today I'm here and we will talk about something beautiful today. It's a topic that a lot of people sometimes spiritualize it and think that it's something that, oh, as for that, this one we need prayers, this one we need that. But how have you seen someone all of a sudden feeling like the world is coming to a halt? Have you seen someone all of a sudden that person's breath starts seizing and having palpitations and thinking that, oh, he or she is dying? Have you experienced that before? Or you yourself, have you experienced what I'm saying? That at the point in time you feel your hands shaking. Then today we're going to talk about what we call panic attacks. We will have time to digest, have time to explain, so that we can all learn together. So if you want to join this conversation, the number is 0559 680066, 0559 680066 on WhatsApp. If you want to ask questions, if you want to contribute, you can send us through our WhatsApp line 0559 680066. And if you are on Facebook now, we are live on Facebook, Hope Channel, Hope TVGH on Facebook, and the same on YouTube. You can like our page, subscribe to our page, click on the notification button, and whenever programs drop, you'll be the first person to know about it. And you can also share on your pages for people also to listen or to watch. Especially the like, it's something that will help this program. And Fabric, as usual, by Slick Africa, Fabric by Slick Africa, and Slick Africa has been giving me fabric since day one, and today is 24 month of doing this program, and it's not personal, it's with you, and I thank God for your life. 24 months still staying with this program, and let's continue to pray for the rest of the month ahead of us. May the Lord help us to help other people. Slick Africa, if you want to contact them, 0557 355 852, 0557 355 852. And I can't continue by mentioning this guy named Alpha Art. He has been designing the flyers every blessed day. If you need any sort of design flyers or banner, whatever, you can contact Alpha Art on 055 1404 387, 0551 404 387. They are on Instagram and Facebook as well. Alpha Art graphics _ Alpha Art. It's on Instagram and same as Facebook. So you can also go there, like the page, and you can have a contact with him there. Today I have a wonderful guest, a special guest. She has been here, but today I will still let her introduce herself. Maybe it's the first time you are watching her. So good evening, and once again welcome to the program Wounds of the Heart.
Thank you.
So in the jiffy, can you tell my viewers for the first time, probably someone who is watching you for the first time, who are you and what do you do?
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Justina Owu Ejiri. I am a counseling psychologist. That's what I do.
So, where are you with a church? Are you with a hospital? Are you with a company? What do you?
Okay, I work with Ghana Atomic Energy Commission.
Okay.
I'm at the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, viewers, you've heard from the horse's own mouth. So I used to call her just T. So Tina, whatever name, it's between the two of us. So Tina, there have been a lot of things people talk about, or you see in the church where somebody may be collapsing, or maybe going down, or maybe shivering, or maybe giving us some signs, and I realize those things are called panic attacks or panic attack. In your field as a counseling, what is panic attack?
Okay.
If I may ask that question.
Thank you so much,
You're
Rev.
welcome.
Panic attack, it's a sudden, unreasonable fear. Sudden, unreasonable fear that comes with anxiety. And then usually it doesn't have signs, but it has symptoms.
Okay.
So mostly it's manifests in the physical symptoms. So it's sudden, intense fear that have no basis or are not real.
Okay.
It doesn't have any sign, but they have symptoms. Most of the symptoms are physical.
Most of its symptoms are physical. Okay.
So the thing is happening in the mind or in the brain or without thinking, but we see the symptoms physically. So we can have something like difficult breathing or palpitation, as in simple.
Those are the symptoms.
Yes.
We'll come back to that. So what is so special about what should we know about panic attack, and what is the difference between panic attack and panic disorder?
Okay, the panic attack occurs within a short time. It can last up to 20 minutes. But when it becomes persistent, then you are developing a disorder.
Okay.
In simple put, a disorder is anything that disrupts or that interrupts our daily functioning. So here I'm talking about having an intense, unreasonable fear that lasts longer than 10 minutes, which is persistent. So after an episode, you are thinking of when the next one will occur, or when is it happening again, or an intense worrying about the attack, when it's coming, how it's coming. So then you have developed the disorder.
Okay.
So it gradually becomes part of you, your lifestyle. So everybody has something that we are afraid of, but it doesn't need to stop us from our daily functioning.
Okay.
So when yours prevents you from being a human being or doing the routine things every human being should be able to do, then it becomes a disorder. So it becomes persistent and lasts for more than 20 minutes. So after you have an attack, you are calmed down, you're back to normal, and you are preoccupied thinking about when it's happening again, is it happening again? So then even what caused it or where you were before the incident happened, you don't want to hear about. The moment that name is mentioned, then you start shivering and all those things. So this is where the attack is as and when it's happening, but the disorder is the persistence of the attack, the continuous occurring of the attack. That attack that comes with an intense, unreasonable fear. The stress is unreasonable fear. So extreme fear that has no basics.
I know when we get to the symptoms, these things will let us know what the panic attack we're talking about is. But is it common with a particular gender, or it's cut across?
It's cut across. Everybody is at risk, or it can happen to everybody. From though it's usually diagnosed in their teens or early adulthood. But children also go through that.
Children?
Yes.
Whoa.
Children equally goes through that. And women are twice likely as men. So everybody can experience it.
Everybody can experience panic attack?
Yes.
Do you have types of them? Do you have types of panic attacks?
We have two types.
Okay.
We have the general and the specifics. So I always say that it's normal to fear something, and everybody has a fear. And then some things are okay to be afraid of. But the moment it becomes specific, then there's a particular thing you can't resist or you can't control yourself. So you start thinking, I'm going to this place, and the possibility I can manage, I can control. Then you start thinking, worrying about all this. So you even stop thinking about the main thing. An example is like sitting for an exams. Many people will sit for exams and they are okay. But we have few people, the moment you mention examination, they stop thinking about what the exams is about, but start thinking of the doom or danger. I'm going to sit for an exams. Am I going to pass? Can I even write? Is the environment okay? And so the focus is shift from the main thing. So you know that once this thought is going through your mind, it distracts you from focusing on the actual thing. So some of these disorders can lead to developing specific phobias.
Okay. Okay.
And other health-related issues, which I believe we'll get there.
Exactly, exactly. All right. So with everyone has a sort of fear or a panic in his life.
Yes.
So if I'm not afraid of cockroach and someone is afraid of a cockroach,
it's normal.
I shouldn't say that this small thing you're afraid of.
That language. It might be small to you, but not to me, because we have our own world. The world is big, but each and everyone have a way of defining the world or how life is. So in our part of the world, it's a difficult thing because we have prescribed stuff for everybody. An example is Bemansu. Who told you Bemansu? You get it.
The head, so.
You are the head doesn't mean you don't have your weakness or you are not emotional. So we can even say that women are emotional as if men are not. Every human being is an emotional being. We feel.
We describe emotions with crying and sort of that.
But the fact that someone is crying doesn't make the person just like your intro, because your definition of pain is different from mine. So what you are scared of that might not scare me, but what scares me might be funny to you.
Exactly.
So we have to understand these are some of the bases why people go through what they go through, and we have to understand them and bear with them.
Okay.
So somebody might be afraid of going to the market, and it boils back to experiences and exposures. So when we get to the causes, maybe we'll talk about it.
Exactly. Okay. Okay. So I want us to, we are entering into the symptoms because I know that's where a lot of people will start connecting it with, is that what I think it was? So viewers, in case you just joined, we are discussing panic attacks, an extreme unreasonable fear. Extreme unreasonable fear. So if it's reasonable, the fear is reasonable, then it becomes normal.
Yes. So it means you are okay. You are healthy psychologically or mentally. But when it becomes unreasonable and intense, an example like this we know is an artificial grass. Okay, so let's see, I have phobia for this. So the moment I set eyes on this, I won't even enter this room, and I'll start screaming.
That is panic.
That is
the extreme.
Yes.
Okay.
So you ask, what is happening? Then they will tell this thing here she's scared of. So you see somebody lifting this away so that the person will be okay. The person still, I will still not enter.
Because he or she has seen that.
Seen this here. So we have people who are even scared of an enclosed place.
Yes,
I've had a friend who lived in Liberia, and she said that during the war, one time they were there when everybody started running away, not knowing they've seen the rebels coming. So since then, it has left a mark in her mind. So she can't stand being alone.
She relives those experiences.
Yes, so we are in this apartment or flat. Once she knows you are in your room, I'm in my room, she's okay. But the moment she's aware that you are not there, I'm not there, she also has to find a way to get out.
Because of that trauma.
So you see that the causes.
So they pause the causes first. Then the symptoms would let us understand why we say it is extreme unreasonable. So in case you have questions or you have contributions or comments to pass, you can do that on our WhatsApp page 0559680066, 0559680066, or you can just post it on our Facebook page, and I'll have time to read them for you as the program continues. So what are the symptoms? I don't want us to leave anything out from the symptoms, because if you don't talk about all the symptoms, I may not know that this is what it means to have an extreme unreasonable fear. So what are the symptoms? You said there are no signs because it doesn't, it just comes.
Sudden,
but what are the symptoms for me to know that?
Before I go on with the symptom, one thing we should note is we all experience it in a different way. So you might have one symptoms or the other, which another person might not.
So, that is why I said, tell us all the symptoms so that I will pick mine. The one watching also will pick his or her, so that we can also learn. We can all learn together.
It mostly starts with a sense of doom or danger. So you start thinking there's danger around you, ahead, or with you. That's the first sign. Fear of losing control or fear of dying.
Doom, sense of doom, fear of losing control. Fear of dying.
Yes.
For no reason.
For no reason.
So if you are watching and you normally feel these ways, fear of doom, fear of dying. So when we go to churches, we are praying, we say that those who have this fear of the unknown, now which means we need not to pray for them. We need to.
Yes, it's a mental health issue.
Or
you see, for me, I always don't say don't pray. Whatever you are doing, pray.
No, we don't just cover it with prayers. But because if I called fear of unknown, if I call that, then which means that, and people come. These people have been experiencing even what you just said, fear of doom, there's doom ahead, or fear of death.
Yes.
So we need not to just cover it with prayers, but after even the prayers, those people should be called for special. That's what I want to say.
Sure.
All right. All right.
And then rapid pounding of the heart. We normally say racing, heart racing. So you feel your heart is running within you, or beating beyond the necessary normal pulse or palpitation. Let me put it that way.
That is what the beating of
the heart. So
it
racing
beats faster, like somebody who is running.
Yes. So we call it racing heart.
Racing heart. Okay. Okay.
So your heart is racing.
Okay.
And then we have profuse sweating. Within a twinkle of an eye, the person is wet. You see those things a lot, especially in the passenger or trotro. So we have to be.
And you're sure they don't know.
Oshugoma, we all know.
So abnormal, like for instance, we are living in this condition, and that person just all of a sudden.
Yes, the person is sweating, even in the whilst everybody is in the room is chilled or something, that person suddenly is sweating profusely. So you should be alarmed.
Okay. So viewers, this program always we learn new things. We educate ourselves so that you can get some fact to help somebody you have seen him or her feeling what we are discussing, or you yourself. If at the point in time in your life you feel the 3 points just raised, if these symptoms, you get through these symptoms, then please we jot something down or follow us attentively so that we can go through the symptoms together for you to know where you stand, and so that we can also help ourselves. Tina, let's continue.
Okay, so I can talk of numbness of the fingers or the arm or the toe of the person. So sometimes
Anansi.
it's not Anansi per se, but where is the Anansi crowd?
What was it? The Anansi
it's so usually you see the person trying to fidgeting with their arms, trying to force their arm to relax. Most of them they acted or they're pressing the feet hard like Anansi Achino, and then you see those things, and then shortness of breath.
Those who always, when they find themselves in the room, stuffy room, you could feel they normally say that I can't breathe, and like something is
that kind of feelings.
So it's not spiritual.
It has its own medical side too when it comes to the shortness of breath, but maybe we'll get there and I'll talk about that. We have nausea. We can have vomiting spells, like stomach upset that you want to vomit, that kind of. Some lose, how do I put it? They will suddenly would want to visit the loo.
So viewers,
so what we call diarrhea,
because we need to this thing. Then probably those fear of exams, those who have exams anxiety, people will tell you. For instance, wedding ceremonies. Let me put it out.
Oh yes,
wedding ceremonies. A lot of people will visit the washroom severally before coming out to meet there. All in the name of. That one is normal because of the wedding. Is it normal?
If it does not disrupt the functioning.
No, say he or she will go to the loo several times.
That's fine.
Okay.
Because it's normal. Sometimes when you have shocking news, you know that is a sign. It tells you are a reasonable human being functioning well. But when it becomes excess or extreme, so the person runs to the loo such that the person loses energy and cannot continue with whatever is happening. Like there's an advert, I don't want to mention it, but they come and tell the bride the groom is sick. So someone hearing the groom is sick will break down, I want to go to the loo. Within 5 minutes, the person has visited the loo about several times.
Extreme fear.
Yes, and now the person, So these are some of the things. We have chills too. Then we can talk about, I've mentioned abdominal cramp, chest pain.
Abdominal cramps for women during menses or the normal? No,
it's normal. It can be a male or it can be a female. So suddenly you have abdominal cramps with pains and all things.
So, no, I'm sure somebody will be going through this and may resort to painkillers or something of that sort.
But no painkiller will help you at that time.
I think go on for me. Go on.
And then chest pain, headaches. So sudden headaches, and then chest pain, dizziness, lightheadedness, or fainting spells, and then feeling of unreality or detached. So all of a sudden, and I can't see top everything. Some go blank.
Charlie, but you know why I'm saying these things? You see, I know we have what we call spiritual issues, spiritual attacks stuff. I think I need to do spiritual attacks and bring pastors here to do this effect of this spiritual attacks. How? Because now we are doing our mental panic attacks. So whoever is watching, if you're a pastor, I want us to treat spiritual attacks. So if you can own up and we'll talk about it. Spiritual attacks. I think we need to. So in the Christian setting, what he just said, we see them. We see them, especially during prayer programs. Probably that person had that the fear of unknown, the doom, sensing death, and all of a sudden start behaving this way. We don't consult the person. We don't consult into helping the person, knowing why the person is doing that. But we jump into
Holy Ghost fire.
Yeah, franking the person with people, prayer warriors to take probably him or her into a smaller room for prayers. And you pray and pray and pray, and at a point in time it stops. But we learned from the onset that panic attacks don't take more than 20 minutes. So if within 20 minutes the attack is gone, we prayer warriors we not knowing what it is, and we assume it to be spiritual attacks.
Yeah.
It is gone. Yeah, we thank God that that was a but not knowing it's a panic attack that has its life time span.
Right.
I don't know what I'm saying, whether you understand.
Yeah, I get it.
Might be spiritual attack.
Yes, but another thing you have to link to this is there are people every time we are praying.
They do that.
That is where it should tell you there's something in it.
Ministers, please, let's pick this key. Let's pick this key. You call for this prayer today. These people will come. You pray, they fall. The next time you call the same prayer, they will come. Then you ask yourself, aren't they getting their solutions to their problem? But I think that we need to go extra. Not necessarily praying alone, but we need to go extra by referring that person to whoever counselor you know in your church, or a friend who is a counselor, to deal with the person mentally, to see whether that person experiences panic attacks. Then we can tackle it from there. So if we call and the person we know that it's panic attack, we give that person to a counselor to speak to the person, and prayers wouldn't be said. But after that, we will just counsel him religiously for him to take care of himself when it comes to those things. So please, let's take keen notice of these things. Please, it's important. Tina.
So just like just to add to what you just said, you see, some people with the mere fact of visiting the hospital increases their blood pressure and other things because of how they define and things they've associated to visiting a hospital. There is the same way when people are going for certain church programs. And now once in Binisi, and the moment, then so it calls for this kind of falling and manifestation.
Exactly.
So when it's persistent, it's becoming a disorder. That is why you have to help.
Okay.
But like you said, in the church you see it as spirit. Even there are people who manifest as in the Holy Spirit is speaking through her, and it's always the same thing. Anytime a particular song is sung, that same prophecy or message comes, you have to look at it again. Yes. So these are some of the things.
But what if somebody just tell you that, I think I'm losing, I'm going crazy, I think I don't know, but I think I'm losing it. I'm going crazy with that.
I see those things as a blessing because the person has been able to tell. So you calm the person down, and then you find out what is it that is going through your mind. So even if it is after an attack, the question you ask is, what happened? Where were you? What happened before you started having that feeling? So it will help you identify the causes or the triggers so that you can help the person. One thing I want us to understand is that some of these symptoms could also be a medical condition. For instance, the symptoms look similar when it comes to things like heart attacks. So before you are diagnosed of panic attack and anxiety disorders or panic disorders, as professionals, we would want to rule out all medical conditions that give similar symptoms. So if everything is okay in the medical or biological side, then we know this is it. Then we'll have tests to run to know which type and all those things.
Okay.
But at least seeing these things should prompt you to help the person. So
seeing this thing, yes, we hear you. But what of that trembling, like shaking.
Yes, shaking. It's also a symptom. So, like I said earlier, everybody symptoms are not the same. Some could have almost all of them. Some will have some might not have others. So, some people, all of a sudden, you see their hands or their body shaking, even their voice, or some of their especially cheeks and then eyebrows, you see them shaking. You should know something is happening.
Okay.
Some will not show it physically that something is happening. Like you observe that after you sat with or at a program, all of a sudden somebody is shivering, or after a phone call, the person is behaving that way, then you should know that the person is going through such a difficulty.
Okay. So viewers, that we just went through the symptoms of panic disorders. We told you that it doesn't have panic attacks. It doesn't have signs for you to know that it is coming, but it's an extreme, unreasonable fear. So if you have a friend, if you have a loved one who all of a sudden will start creating some scene, don't pour water on the person. Don't think the person is going mad. Don't think that the person is spiritually taken away. But in that short brief of time, that person will come back to know he or she may need you at that particular point in time just to calm the person down, because the person might think he or she is dying. No, that is how they're feeling. That's how they feel because of the symptoms that we just said. Seeing them shaking, palpitation, short breath, choking, feeling nausea, cramps, abnormal cramps or stuff like that. You should understand what it is to go through these symptoms. What are the causes of panic attacks? What are the causes?
Basically, everything starts with genetics. So if you have family history of that obsession, anxiety, disorders, and all those things, then you become susceptible or prone to that. Then we have major stress.
Major stress, okay.
Having intense stress, environmental lifestyle. Then we have temperament that is more sensitive to stress.
The melancholic. Melancholic, when you look at their weakness, I could say everything you're discussing here is them.
But we have them who are not going through because they understand, they know who they are.
Okay, so
but that's why I keep
okay.
stressing on the extreme and the intense. Some people worry about, excuse me to say, unnecessary things. Especially, what are others saying? How do I look? I must look. So they have a yardstick. So if they don't fall, it means things are not going the way it should be, and it's not right. You see, so like I don't know whether I was telling you, we have our world. The world is there for all of us, but each of us and the world. So I have the way I perceive life, or my world. So I have definition for what I want and what means something to me. So you should be able to know this about yourself, regardless of your temperament. When you understand it this way, you won't buy into generalization.
Okay.
So an example is, I am 30 plus, I'm not married.
Okay.
To our world, a woman at this stage should be married. But is that it? Are you the first one? Are you the last? Would you be the first? Would you be the last? If your answer is no, then that wouldn't bother you, regardless of what somebody is saying. But where you buy into because you don't have a defined world for yourself, then you tend to buy, hey, I'm growing, and then even if I'm 40, I'll not get a man to marry me, I can't have children. So you preoccupy your mind with all these things because society says. But the Bible that instituted marriage, they did put age on it.
No. It's
so if you know all these things, it helps you to, regardless of your temperament type, you are able to cope. So it boils back to the emotional intelligence, which is another topic for another time. So it helps you. Then we have our experiences, that's traumatic experience. which also
yeah,
cause,
exactly.
yes.
Like the Liberian lady you said.
Yes, because of what she's seen before or she's experienced, she always associates things to that. Our exposure, how we were raised, all have a role to play. Then we have a certain changes in the part of our brains. You know, the brain development as you age, certain things might happen, and the brain's role in our life might not, or the brain will not function the way it's supposed to, which can also cause that. And then we have drug use.
Drugs, okay.
Drug use.
Probably somebody not genetically he or she wouldn't have it, or probably with even his or her temperament, he or she wouldn't have it. But when when that person gets himself or herself into drugs, some drugs can cause
addiction and
addiction.
So some alcohol, which is the commonest drug, is one of the causes of these things.
Then I'll say that I had this lady. I just had a call from her. I don't know what happened, but she told me that she thinks that when she picks a car from where she is to Accra, by the time she gets there, she'll die. It is only today is when I'm connecting it to panic attack. She said, "Pastor, do you know what? If when I see the car, I start shivering because I get choked up, I feel palpitation,
chest pain,
you see, then by the grace of God, I didn't use prayers on her. I use words. Okay, calm down, you'll be fine. Sit in the car, you see people around, yes. So do you also think that all of them will die, will crash? He said no. Then why do you think yourself? Pastor, I don't know. Then calm down, let's take it. And for the first time, she was able to sit in a trotro from Spintex to Accra and back. It was a testimony. For 2 years. She had never sat in trotro from Spintex to Accra for 2 good years because of attack. That is the definition. Severe, unreasonable fear.
She couldn't tell why she thinks she would die. But you ask yourself, what has happened in her life before?
Exactly, the historical.
Yes.
It was. As a drug misuse, she was diagnosed of some a sickness which wasn't, and the drugs that was given to her caused that and then that is why I want us to just be careful about the drugs we take at the hospital, or doctors, please. Let's be specific of the drugs that we but Ghana, we don't I don't know whether some doctors do. They don't ask you whether you are allergic to particular
they
drugs.
do
For the first time.
Unless
they have I've sat in front of a lot of doctors and they wouldn't ask. They wouldn't ask.
And you also have to tell.
No, how do you know? For instance, how do you know that you are allergic to specific drugs? You don't know. Sometimes you take a drug and certain things. All these things, fine, but you wouldn't know whether you are allergic to that.
And so when you identify that, when you go to the hospital, you tell the doctor, I noticed this, that, which is not usual.
How many people will do that?
We have to learn to do that.
Let's
sometimes, you see, it's our setting. We don't book appointment before we go to the hospital, which is another. So always there's that queue and pressure on doctors.
What is
you understand?
What is appointment?
If a doctor is aware I'm seeing you in the next 1 hour, they have enough time to get ready for you. But here is the case: one person gets out to another person.
That is their work now. So what should we do?
And so the time. That's why sometimes and then we ourselves don't like knowing ourselves. How many Ghanaians know their blood group? Their resource factors and then all those things which are basic. Some don't even know their BP. The last time was checked, how was it? Their pulse. They don't care.
How often do we check?
They wait.
How often
we don't know. After some age, it should be a routine. Every 2 weeks you check. Every 3 months. If there's nothing wrong with you, at least every 6 months, you should be able to check some of these things. But how many Ghanaians will do? Because Yeah, I'm fine.
So as you've just told us about some of the causes, genetic, the drug use, and traumatic experiences also
then
causes
side effects of some prescribed drugs.
Drugs.
It's not always.
I'm emphatic on the traumatic experiences. That probably to me may be the key factor or the key cause of.
It might not be. The genetics play a role.
I know. You see, you said even with the temperament, when a person understands it, but basically, you see, traumatic experiences when those people relive the same experiences. Those who are afraid of flight. In the flight, you could see it, and there are people who traveling from Kumasi to Accra will vomit all the time. You see,
especially when the road is
exactly.
Valleys and mountains and the cars, you know, you see some people holding firm to their seats and all
because of what they've seen. That's what I'm saying. When people have gone through this trauma before, coming out of it, it's something that's post-traumatic stress disorder may play a role. So when you go down to the research, you see that PTSD will be aligned to panic attacks. So with the causes. How does it affect human? How? Panic attack, should we ignore it? Or it has a role, it has issue with the human being, or it's normal, it come to 20 minutes, it's gone, you're fine, you go away?
It's very serious thing that we don't pay attention to. In that, the first and foremost, you can develop specific phobias, I said earlier.
Okay.
So with time, you don't want to be at certain place because you are scared of certain things. That basically does not have reasonable reasons. Yeah. And then we have, it can create health issues for you. The common one is high blood pressure. You become prone to. You avoid social activities.
Exactly. That is a point there. Most people with that, you don't see them associating themselves with things like that. They are alone. They are okay.
It affects your work.
How?
So you go to work and you can't control certain things, which has become a disorder. Then it means anytime you are there, you are going to have episodes.
Okay.
So like the lady who, I also know a lady who quit her job because she can't travel. She can't just pick a car, be in a car.
So how does she?
So she was transferred from her hometown to another town, and she'll have to pick a car.
So when the transfer came in?
Oh yeah.
So which means that she walked from her house to the work?
Yes.
Hey. Then panic attack is not something we need to joke with.
So now she has to pick a car to the new workplace, and it's a no-no. So in the public sector, you don't report for 10 days without any reason. You sacked yourself. And that's what happened.
So if it allows someone to lose his job just like that, because I can't work there, especially when, okay, let me ask, someone who has been abused before, what is the correlation?
Yes, it's a traumatic thing, especially when it's sexual and those things. So mostly the triggers. So when you are able to identify the triggers, it makes it easy to help the person. So what if the trigger is the office environment or a specific space? You understand? Or a certain description of a person, or even some even have gender. So for me, once there's a male involved, but in the social life, you can't do without, you will definitely meet the opposite sex, and you can't stand one. So the moment there's a TikTok guy around, then she starts seeing danger. Or there's a short man or a fair lady around, he starts going through this symptoms. So it makes life uncomfortable and then unrealistic to the person. So it becomes persistent that the person cannot even be in the area, because the moment I come here, I'll see such people and
So in a church setting where somebody had been abused before, and seeing this man or woman who abused this person, the type, not even the same person, but seeing somebody looking like,
yeah, it can trigger. It can trigger.
Viewers, we are still talking about panic attacks. We are now talking about the effect, how panic attack can cause harm for you or me or whoever is experiencing that. And what we just discussed about is how someone who has been abused can be living under panic attack for the rest of his life or her life if he or she is not given a counselor to help him or her and overcome that. So what again can be the effect so far as panic attack is concerned, so that we
development of anxiety disorders, depression, and other psychiatric disorders. Then we have increasing risk of suicide.
Okay.
So when it's persistent and I can't help myself, especially when there's nobody to help, I think, why don't I end it?
Okay.
Because if I have to go through this over and over and over, it becomes frustrating and stressful. So it increases suicidal ideations and thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Then it can lead to drug abuse and addiction.
Panic attack can lead to drug abuse and addiction. How?
Okay, so I noticed that this is what I go through, especially the abuse of alcohol. So you see that some men, when they close from work and they are going home, they have to go and then
top up,
take those things. Some start like to be able to eat. Then it becomes, so if you don't do it, you can't. It's similar to this.
Okay.
So I go through this, I take alcohol and I'm able to sleep off. So now it becomes, the moment you sense, you go for it, then it becomes a habit. It becomes an addiction.
Really? So people with it may be major causes for health workers who misuse or abuse this Petidin, this diazepam.
It's not only health workers.
No. For instance, you see, health workers we know more, and out of depression and stress, he or she can't sleep.
So I know. I know this drug can help me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Let me just take a dose and
that's
then
what I'm saying.
Then it's okay. So okay. The moment, sometimes you tune your mind. You see, these things are mind work. So the moment the sleep, you go to bed, 30 minutes, the sleep is not coming, you take. With time, your body will depend on it. So you take one dose and it's no more working. So you increase it. You see how addiction,
exactly.
So you increase it and it's going on and on and on.
All right.
Yeah, that is how this one too works.
So
and then financial problem.
Exactly. Tell us more about that.
So the example I gave, somebody will have to quit the job just because I can't travel. So you ask yourself, what next? What's losing your job? How are you going to continue life? Is it a difficulty? So it's just like, and then sometimes you have to run to hospitals. In our part where we believe everything is spiritual, from pastor to pastor, and all of them are demanding, so you keep spending your money on that instead of focusing on the right treatment and help. So before you realize, you lose your job, and you are spending money where you are not supposed to spend it. So basically that is it.
All right.
And you lose, sometimes if you're not careful, you will feel like you are alone in this world. Because look at the social avoidance of social situations.
Exactly, yes.
So you gradually lose friends. Because you always have an excuse because of your fear. And you know, most often in our part of the world, we find it difficult to tell that this is my difficulty so that somebody can help. So we find nice excuses. And so eventually they won't call you again.
Exactly.
Then you are in your corner.
Exactly.
So you become a prisoner to yourself, and you start getting worried about it. Why is everybody leaving me? All my friends.
So you have let yourself.
But
you have let yourself.
basically that is how it is. And all these things also, the health issues, it weakens your immune system.
Exactly.
It affects your digestive system. Cardiovascular disorders also. So it's like, we don't see it as a big thing, but the effects are very big. So I mentioned blood pressure.
Exactly.
So before you realize you have pressure without knowing what caused that. Your digestive system, every time your stomach upset, it affects your sleeping pattern. You know, if you're not able to sleep, it has a whole lot of effect on your, it shortens your life, headaches. So you are always have health issues because of this.
How do we help them? How do we help such people?
The first and foremost is you have to observe the person. It's the persistency that calls for alarm, and the fact that it interrupts daily functioning. The basic routines the person cannot do because of this. Then whenever it occurs, there's an episode, try to calm the person down by reassuring the person, giving the person hope to calm down. Then find the triggers. This is what you can do when you are close to the person before you even seek medical attention. It's like first aid. So you try to be there for the person, if not physically, emotionally, mentally, everything you have to, and then keep reassuring the person this will be over soon. Don't tell the person this is not a problem. It is a problem. That we are used to that saying. Now we are so now sing. And then we are. Yes. In fact, it's one of the things I fear most in my life. If I see cockroach here until I've seen it killed, I can't put my feet down. I'll be hanging. So I keep telling people, Obiani Newsru, and then me, I'll let you know, say, Obiani Newsru.
So yours is cockroach.
So if I'm scared of cockroach, don't laugh at me because Obiani Newsru.
Yours is cockroach.
Yes, just like I used to fear heights, but I have to. There are certain story buildings.
So where we can overcome, we can overcome.
We can overcome. That is when you get to know the triggers. Okay. So in helping them, after doing all the first aid thing, find out the triggers. That's why I said earlier, you find out what about this that affects you so, or that hurts you, or makes you fear a lot. When the person is calm, then the person will tell you. Then which part? Okay, what happened before you feeling this way, so you be able to identify the triggers. If possibly, take the person out of the trigger zone, or take the triggers out there. So for me, kill the cockroach. Let me see that the cockroach is dead.
It's dead, yeah, fine.
Then I carry it into the
you carry it. You can carry it.
I can carry it. But once it's dead, yes, once it's alive. One thing I hate is you hit the cockroach and they turn around. I mean, if you're not careful, they fly and they come.
What of snake?
Oh, I'm not fine, but I'm not that scared of snake.
Oh, yes. But you are scared of cockroach.
Yes.
Okay. So the last point to consider to helping them.
Yes, I'll talk about then seek medical attention.
Okay, okay.
So
it's not psychological?
It is.
It is, okay.
But I use medical in that when you go to the hospital, the doctor will help you. Even if it's so intense that you'll be given, you know, we have medications to suppress the anxiety and the fear associated with it. But aside all these things, you need a psychologist, a trained counselor. The emphasis is a trained counselor. So don't just walk to anybody who call himself or herself a counselor for the person to now we also now go to the person who will accept, yes, this is what you said you are afraid of, it's okay.
We should stop that.
Then the person will help you get over. For instance, the person you said fears being on a car, we have something we call exposure therapy. So we expose the person bit by bit. So we sit, or first we can walk with the person by the busy roadside, then we sit for a short time with the person, then you start go alone. So you see that with time the person is in there without So these are some of the things. So one is then regular exercise. Regular exercise. Then we can talk of avoiding caffeine. Yes, and drugs, unprescribed drugs. If you are on any medication that gives you any of these symptoms, tell your doctor. This is how. So even those on BP medication, that's the common one, some of the medication, they can't sleep. So you know sleeping have a detrimental effect on your health. So discuss with your doctor. I noticed that. So take time and study yourself. We are quick studying others, but we don't want to know ourselves. So know yourself so that you can tell your doctor, okay, I noticed that for the past 1 month or since I started using this medication, I haven't been able to sleep, or I sleep and wake up, I can't sleep again. So the doctor will readjust for you. This is where the allergies and all those things comes in. So if you don't report back to the health worker, they wouldn't know. Even when you go for psychotherapy, stick to the plan, stick to assignments. One thing people do have observed is that when they come once, twice, and they seem to be okay, they don't come again until there's an attack. Stick to it until you know you are strong enough to.
All right. Our time, it's almost time, but let me take this moment to go on Facebook Live. Those joining, James Dr. James Boachifo Penkwasi, watching us live, enjoying a bit of this program. Brother, God bless you. Yesterday we had a chance to speak. It's Monday, we spoke on Monday. God bless you, Other. Well, yesterday, God bless you, Other. I know one day you host me at Sunyani. I'll come and have a whole weekend with you, and I will just relax in your apartment. So we will plan for that. We will plan for that. Nana Kosia, this program is very enlightening. Nana Kosia, God bless you for that comment. And Jan Prince, Prince from a very nice program. Keep it up. Prince, God bless you. Jan, God bless you. Isaac Owusu, great topic. Ike, senior man, thank you so much for your comment, and we thank you so much for the comment. Your last word, then we will draw the curtains.
All that I would say is psychological or mental illness are not a crime, are not spiritual. They are treatable. For instance, the panic attack we're talking about is treatable. At whatever stage. All that you need to do is seek help. Seek help by talk to somebody, especially a healthcare provider. Tell the person what you're going through, what's the help available, what the person thinks. Don't stick to yourself. Don't feel shy. You see, one thing I've noticed is when it's not physical, we don't take it serious until it gets out of hand. But don't wait till that. Now you know what it means to experience certain things. Maybe you're going through, but you didn't know it's an HLN. But now you know. So pay attention. Speak to somebody. If you have to speak to a professional, go. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till it gets to a stage where it destroys you or destroys your relationship, which will leave you alone. always talk to somebody. There's help. Now psychologists are all over.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now psychologists are all over. Thank you so much, Justina. She will come here before the end of the year, so watch out for our last session with her before the end of the year. Alpha Art, God bless you for the flyers. Slicker Freak, the fabric, Slicker Freak. In fact, every fabric that they sell it out there, just call them on 0557-355-852 and select from what you want, and they will just come to you. Yeah, I want to take this moment to tell you that the Family Ministries in the Gon District is organizing a singles retreat out there in Anakazo, and it's on the 12th to 14th. It's a weekend retreat for singles and dating couples. If you have somebody that you are planning to get married, you are welcome. If you are single and you want to mingle, you are welcome. If you are somebody you want to hook up, you are welcome. If you want to, it's a program for all, especially singles and dating couples. And we have international speaker like Brennan Barrington, a speaker, marriage counselor, a coach, a family coach. He's going to talk to us about why should I say, am I ready to say yes, I do? I think that you can't afford for singles. It's 135 Ghana cedis only, free transportation. The number to call for registration is 0540 897758. 0540 897758. Call this line, do your registration. This person will tell you everything you need to know. The deadline is coming Saturday on the 6th of November. That's the deadline for planning purposes. So please, if you have never registered, do so, because it's not about whoever, it's about you, a single and the dating couple, to learn so that you can equip your life out there, so that you should be able to tell the guy or the lady, I'm ready to say yes, I do. God bless you, Justina. God bless you for your time. Viewers out there, God bless you. It has been 24 months on this program, and without your help, we wouldn't get this far. God bless you for making this program a wonderful one. All persons who continue to pray for this program, may God bless you. Continue to pray for this program, because we have exciting topics for you to treat with you before everything, whatever. So please, God bless you. I've been your regular host, and the name is Pastor Daniel Bedivideba. I'm out.
Hope Channel, changing lives.
you been to Jesus for the cleansing power? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you fully trusting in His grace this hour? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood? In the blood, in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb. Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you walking daily by the Savior's side? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Do you rest each moment in the crucified? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood? In the blood, in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb. Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? When the bridegroom cometh, will your robes be white, pure and white in the blood of the Lamb? Will your soul be ready for the mansions bright, and be washed in the blood